Hello, Wolfpack. The only things important in the market right now, in my personal opinion, are Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ethereum BTC chart, Bitcoin dominance. That's it. Okay, that's all I'm looking at right now. Those four things, because those things are by far the most important things that are happening in the market. Bitcoin, in the sense that it needs to maintain above a certain area, or we will see a bear market. And it needs to get above this uptrending level of support, or we will see a bear market. Ethereum, in the sense that it's flipped a major resistance line similar to what it did in 2017, and it started heading back to the upside. Bitcoin dominance, in the sense that it's testing a major level of support or resistance, we should say. And if it drops below that, we will be retesting the 2017 lows and most likely heading lower in an altcoin season. And the Ethereum BTC pair, in the fact that it's breaking out. So Ethereum is growing against Bitcoin right now. It's broken out of a longer term symmetrical triangle. And it's currently trying to get above a continuation resistance. It's not confirmed yet, because we look at the weekly chart with this sort of thing. We'll look at that all in a second. So those are the four things that I'm looking at in the market, and those are the four things that I'm going to keep updating regularly until something else comes up, because that's all I care about right now. All right. Basically, my view on Bitcoin, and I've made it very clear in other videos. I'm not going to go over it again. My view on Bitcoin is we're entering a bear market, or at least a bearish phase in the market, similar to the phase we had here. Had over here in May to July, right? So a bear market, or at least a bearish phase in the market, right? Not necessarily a bear market, but something like that. And that's what I'm thinking. And obviously, if you think Bitcoin is going to enter a bear market or a bearish phase in the market, your next logical step of thought is, are we going to see an altcoin season? Because typically what we see with Ethereum and Bitcoin and altcoins is we see the altcoin season happen after Bitcoin tops out. An example would be here in May, okay? In May, when Bitcoin failed to make new all-time highs and kind of just moved sideways for a bit, that is when Ethereum doubled in valuation, and that is when altcoins had the majority of their gains in this entire year, right? So that is the next question. It's like, well, if I'm bearish on Bitcoin, if I think Bitcoin's going to go down, do I think we can see something like this? And in this time period, we see altcoins go parabolic, and then we enter a bearish phase in the market. Do I think that can happen? And that's what I'm considering right now, and I'm looking at various charts to kind of distinguish that. So the first chart we'll look at is Ethereum on the USD pair, and it's pretty clear that Ethereum is seeing a breakout on a macro scale, right? We had the same structure here in 2017, where we had a top here in May, and then a bottom here in July. We had the top here in September, testing the top again, and then we had this consolidation period until a breakout in November, right? And then we peaked out actually in January. So what we're seeing now is something similar, right? We topped here in May, bottomed in July, tested in September, had this consolidation period until November, where we broke out, and we actually broke out in very late October this time, but on a macro scale, it's kind of the same thing as early November. So very late October, early November, the breakout, and then we should be expecting to see highs by, well, according to what I previously had, right, as my theory, which is the 4-year cycle theory with slightly lengthening cycles. I said the highs would be at very late January to very early February. I think I said the 3rd of February. So we'll have to be watching that closely within the next few weeks to see. I don't know if that stands true anymore. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to top out. But I think that the main kind of concern that I have is, and I'm not concerned, but the main kind of indication I have about when it's going to top out is the fact that this macro structure looks identical. I mean, that's undeniable. Okay, to the date, it's happened to the date. Looks perfect. And so just going off that, which is not much, by the way, but just going off that, we could expect a top out. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks from the top from the breakout to the top. Let's add an extra 2 weeks to account for lengthening cycles. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So look, it says it's probably going to happen. According to this, in mid-January, early January, mid-January. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's the case. Okay, but it could very well be the case, because Bitcoin only typically does this little dead cat bounce thing for about a month. Okay, so if Ethereum tops out in early to mid-January, which is about a month away, right, and we've just started this little dead cat relief rally, that would make sense, okay, for Bitcoin to top out in about a month. Altcoins don't take very long to run. I mean, in 2017, we had Bitcoin topping out I think it was the 15th of December, and then Ethereum topped out as early as the second week of January. So altcoins didn't really take too long. They took, 3 weeks to rally the 10x's they did in 2018. So I don't understand why it'd be any different this time, to be quite honest. But we'll have to see what happens, essentially. So that's what we're looking at. The macro structure looks perfect, right? We had a brilliant retest to that resistance line. In terms of a shorter term scale, the daily chart, we have an uptrending channel, right? And we've retested that a few times, and Ethereum just looks exponentially better than Bitcoin. It always, it has for a while now, ever since this breakout in September. It's looked so much better. Even back here in July, it looked better, to be honest, than Bitcoin, and it's continuing to do that, which is an indication that we might be seeing some sort of altcoin season. But essentially, what we need to be doing in order to confirm that altcoin season is breaking out of this symmetrical triangle and possibly even breaking new all-time highs. That I think the major thing that I'm kind of doing here, guys, is I'm being a little bit conservative, because I don't see a reason to be overly confident. If Bitcoin goes down, if Bitcoin plummets, which is what I'm kind of suggesting here, and even if you don't think it's going to do that, right, it's undeniable that it doesn't look very good. Okay, even if you're bullish in the market, it's undeniable that it doesn't look very good. It doesn't. It looks terrible in terms of TA, right? Whether you think it looks slightly more bullish and bearish is a different question, but it doesn't look good, right? It would have been ideal for us to bounce on this uptrending level support, right? That's the last time it looked good. Okay. I think that's undeniable. So at this point, we're below critical resistance on Bitcoin. And so if we go further down and we do enter a bearish phase in the market or a bear market, you're at serious risk of losing 90 to 95% of your portfolio on altcoins, right? And so I don't think it's worth being overly confident. What we can do is, wait for confirmations from Ethereum, and we're going to look at the Ethereum BTC pair in a second. Wait for confirmations of breakouts on Ethereum. Wait for a confirmation of a breakdown on the Bitcoin dominance. Wait for a confirmation of flipping this continuation resistance here on Ethereum as well. And then enter. And even at that point, after missing out on, say, 10 to 20% of the gains on altcoins, we're still, sitting by to gain, anything from 3 to 5x's, whatever it may be in this altcoin season. I'm not entirely sure how high altcoin's going to go on a general basis. But, the fact of the matter is, we're avoiding, losing 90 to 95% of our portfolios and, opting to miss out on maximum 25% gains in altcoins. I think the risk-reward ratio is pretty clear, right? It's pretty clearly in our favor. It doesn't really make sense to me for someone to buy in right now, because unless you have a tight stop loss, in which case go ahead. Because you're just standing to lose so much more than you're standing to gain at this point in time, right? Wait for the confirmation. There's really not much that needs to happen for a confirmation. I can't see Ethereum moving. Well, let's see how far Ethereum is from new all-time highs. Okay, so Ethereum is around 10% from new all-time highs. In fact, exactly 10% from new all-time highs. So we will be waiting for a 10% gain on Ethereum in order to buy in. All right, so we're missing out on 10% gains, and we're actually avoiding, losing 90 to 95% of our portfolios in a downward spiral. So it seems it's a bit of a no-brainer to me. But essentially, that's what we need on Ethereum. We need a breakout of a symmetrical triangle. If you're optimistic, or if you're overconfident, or if you're confident, whatever, I don't know the word, the opposite of conservative, outside of a political sense. I don't think it's progressive in a charting sense. But however, if you're confident that Ethereum is going to break out here, wait for the breakout, buy in at the breakout. If you're more conservative, wait for a new all-time high. It's only 10% away. It's literally nothing. By that point, by the time we see a new all-time high, we should have, let's go to the weekly chart. We should have closed above this continuation resistance on the weekly chart. That's 4 days away. As soon as we close above this continuation resistance on the weekly chart, we're flipping both these constructions, and it's pretty clear that we're going to be heading to the upside. As to where I think Ethereum BTC is going to be heading, I'm thinking this first red box here. Okay, I don't think it's going to reach new all-time highs. I'm thinking this first red box here, it's simply because of the fact that we haven't had an explosive Bitcoin rally like we did before the last all-time high, right? Bitcoin went up massively. Bitcoin's kind of just surpassed its May highs, so I don't think it's going to be a massive altcoin season. I think it's going to be a slightly miniature altcoin season here, which is unfortunate to a certain extent, but that's fine. So I think this red box here between around what do we have, 117,000 sats and around 130,000 sats. That's what I'm looking at for the Ethereum BTC pair. As for Bitcoin dominance, there's multiple ways you can look at this. You can wait for a drop down on Bitcoin dominance. You can wait for a breakout on Bitcoin. You can wait for a breakout on Ethereum. You can wait for a breakout on Ethereum BTC. There's multiple ways, but they all kind of move together, so it's good to see as well. As for Bitcoin dominance, if we do drop down and we do see an altcoin season, I would 100% expect us to go way, a significant amount below what we did in 2017, which was our 35% low. It's actually 2018, but 35% of Bitcoin dominance. We'll go below that, right? As to where we'll go, I can't say for sure. It could be as high as 30%, right? It could be as low as maybe, 25%. Okay, somewhere between those blue lines. That's just a rough speculation based on historical trends. So the fact of the matter is, Ethereum is on the verge of a breakout, and we're waiting for confirmation because it's not confirmed yet. If it does break out, that is very, very, very bullish for us in the short term, in the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks. That's very bullish. We'll make a lot of money for sure. I'll do a load of altcoin videos in that time period. However, if it does break out and we do see an altcoin season, that would be the final nail in the coffin, and a bear market will be confirmed, because we don't see altcoin seasons without bear markets or bearish phase in the markets. It's never happened historically, never. Right? So for all of the bullish people who are bullish on Bitcoin still, they still think Bitcoin's going to go to 100K, you should actually be against an altcoin season. You should be looking at Ethereum right now and say, no, I don't think Ethereum's going to break outwards. I think we're going to see a Bitcoin season again. You're going to see Bitcoin's going to go up. And that's why I don't like the bullish argument right now, right? Because it implies that Bitcoin looks stronger than Ethereum. If you think Bitcoin's going to have another rally and go to 100K, that implies that you think right now Bitcoin looks stronger than Ethereum, which isn't the case, right? I think Ethereum looks stronger than Bitcoin, and hence I think an altcoin season is, probable. And if you think an altcoin season is probable, you think a bear market is probable, because they go together, right? You don't see bear markets without altcoin seasons before it. So, that's my view on the market right now. And that's why I think the bullish argument for Bitcoin right now is kind of ridiculous, because it's, you don't have to, you barely even have to have any experience in the charts to know that Bitcoin looks exponentially worse than Ethereum right now. Ethereum looks so much better than Bitcoin. And so the most logical line of questioning would be, will we see an altcoin season? And if we do, that's a bear market confirmed, right? If something happens, if some miraculous recovery happens for Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up, we won't see an altcoin season, okay? That will be delayed. That will be pushed down the road until later. We'll see an even bigger one later, but we won't be seeing it now. So that's why I think the bullish argument is kind of ridiculous, right? Because we're quite clearly making exponential moves in the Ethereum-Bitcoin pair. Bitcoin dominance is dropping massively. Ethereum looks so much better than Bitcoin, but then we're saying, Bitcoin's 100K. Just simply doesn't make sense, okay? But that's how I'm looking at the market right now. Wait for confirmations. I'll be doing more videos on it shortly. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.